Greetings there, fellow witches living in the trees. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the Boundless Witch. Episode 7. Other banished children seem pretty terrible. Waste dump. Okay. This is potentially decent to consider. I don't love 90. Don't get me wrong. The reason why I would consider it, however, is if we want to get a fabrication, you can't start fabrication without a second advanced component. It doesn't have to come from this quest. There's other possibly easier ways to get it, like Ancient Dangers or other quests or whatever. But should we accept this quest? Yes or no? So if yes, we would have the advanced components to get fabrication. If no, we would have to scrounge for it. But 90 waste packs is a lot of waste. That is a lot of waste. That's 540 tiles worth of waste, which we have no capacity to displace right now. Right? This here is, well, I can count how many tiles this is. Let's just do a quick rough estimate of what amount of waste we could absorb. This is about half of the amount of waste that would get sent to us. For reference, this is about 300, and 90 packs is 540 waste tiles. If there's no tiles that can pollute, do waste packs not dissolve? No, they'll still dissolve, but they would pollute this and that. It would pollute my base. Basically, it's going to pollute every possible tile on the map until there's no more tiles unpolluted. So it's hypothetically possible that we have the capacity. So we have 300 over there. We have like 22 here, and you know, like if I spread it around everywhere possible, we could deal with most of this waste, but not even all of it. Like 24, 21, 22, yeah. So we don't have the capacity to deal with that volume. Not without mining or excavating or cleaning, or I don't know. But you guys say no. We'll get an advanced component some other way. But now you know what it looks like, at least. So this is, this is a decent amount of waste. This is almost 300 tiles here, which is a pretty hardy swath, and we could start dumping up there, eventually. But yeah, the way the waste works is when a waste pack decays, and you saw me use it here, when it decays, it immediately will choose the closest tiles to it. So I dumped 2 waste packs here, which put 12 pollution here when they decayed. So these 12 tiles were for me. I added that. And if those tiles are full, it would go to the nearest tiles. So if I added, like, let's say all 90 waste packs here, it would fill up these areas, and then eventually these areas. It goes through doors, walls. It's basically perfect in its spread. So if I put all 90 packs here, let's say, which there is a logistics issue of even getting 90 packs up here in the beginning, half of the waste would decay here, and then it would start polluting here. And it would just, like a tsunami, fill up every possible tile until there's none left. If you're a waster, however, and you don't care about waste at all, you could take every possible waste dump and just have it over pollute infinitely. I'm not a waster, and I care. And it would also kill all my crops and prevent me from being able to feed my pets and stuff. Hey, Zero, thank you for the resub. All right, let's clean the workshop and then build the batteries. Eventually, maybe I'll have individual walls or doors for this area, but for now, I'm just keeping it simple. This girl's done more in 46 days than I could do in nearly a lifetime, so... Be nice to have more, but I'm impressed with what she already has. She has survived quite a bit. So, we'll need a little bit more steel for the other battery. But 2 batteries is a good start. How long would it take the Pollux tree to clean 90 waste pack tiles? It would... I don't know the math of the spread rate. The spread rate is also variable, depending on how... Right, because my understanding is it spreads like a moisture pump. So at maximum radius, it cleans a lot more pollution than if it's overwhelmed. So it's honestly probably best to only pollute the very edges of a Pollux tree so that it removes that pollution the most efficient way possible. There is a lot of math involved, so I can't really answer that question. But basically, I'm pretty sure the Pollux tree is in to out like a moisture pump and not a set variable. So the last pollution spread, like, well, here, we'll do a little bit of light math. I don't want to, I'm not saying I'm like going to fully answer your question in this case, but I'll do a little bit of light math as to what that might be by painting the zone now and then checking back to see how much pollution got removed from this tree. Maybe the wiki has the answer, and in that case, use the wiki to answer that question. But I'll try to at least partially answer the question. So right now there's, nope, I missed a few. Okay. There is 57 tiles here that are polluted that could have their pollution removed. Correct? Right? Ignore the total planning area, because the total planning area is kind of wrong. Where's my other plans? Oh. Oh, right. Yeah, the stupid into the tunnel. Okay, so the total planning zone is 57. There's 57 tiles, and in 5 hours, we'll see how much pollution is removed. Because I don't know if it's a set ratio going into out or not. I honestly forget. Which you are needed to mine up some more steel so we can build the other batteries, and then we'll work on researching turrets. It's crazy that you're about to hit a 7-year on that streak. I know. I mean, what am I on your channel now? It's up there. I've left I've left that on auto sub for a few bit of years. But I appreciate. How are you doing? I'm so bad at keeping up with people. Here's my Achilles heel. I'm at 73 months. So you got me beat here by some time. But I just hit my 73 month over on your channel. Woohoo! We're getting old, aren't we? I think it's time for a colonoscopy. Celebrating our subiversary with a prostate exam and a colonoscopy. You know, just elder things. Oh god. The inescapable march of time. Yup. Alright, so now that the batteries are done, I can take that off the priority, and build defensive turrets is going to be the priority, because defensive turrets are going to be a lot more versatile than, like, spike traps, which I might not be able to, you know, count on. So gunsmithing, go. Hey, Otto. You want to join me? Just stab you're not even related. Stab the other guy. I'm So I'm not really in the position right now to, you know what? Actually, Omar is almost the right age to join me too. I guess what I'm saying is, in the future, when I have better arms and armor, and like better capacity to like take prisoners, and the infrastructure to actually take prisoners, you know, food production and a kitchen and whatnot, and bedrooms, I'm not against bushwhacking people and taking them prisoner. It would anger their entire faction, but like, it's a possibility to expand our numbers. Especially someone like Otto, who's iron-willed. That's legitimately a pretty good trait. Or even, hell, Omar, who's neurotic and kind. Again, good traits, but Omar is a year too old to be eligible anyway. Did I turn the insect in? No, I haven't. Oh god, it spoils in a second. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know if I have time to fix that. I thought it was still cold. I guess I could make it cold. Hold on. Flick. Open. Open. And we're fine. It's frozen now. Just barely. Yep. So thank you for the chem fuel. It's entirely you're the only reason why I've got insect meat still. So I need to be reminded. So I will have 70 more chem fuel as a result of that quick action there. And the rest of it will spoil. Like, the rest of it, maybe I'll just dump in Silent Rider's pen, because I don't have any use for 9. It's not enough to do anything with. Although it is sort of cannibalism, but whatever. Waste not. Converting something that is iron will sucks, though. It does, however, in your storyteller, when you have a low pop, so the reason why I'm on custom is I'm on losing is fun, but I have allowed child raiders and reduced child aging rate to 100%, which arguably makes it harder than losing is fun. But the reason why I brought this up is the low pop conversion boost. If you have a low population, your conversion is very, very, very effective until you have 3 or more. So even someone who is iron-willed, it wouldn't really matter until my population was higher, right? That's what I was trying to point out. Okay, we can turn the heat back on. So we are researching gunsmithing, blowback, and gun turrets for defensive turrets. There's one unfortunate thing, which is I know of no source of uranium, and I certainly don't have any, like I have some plasteel, but not enough for an entire turret. So the question I have for you guys is this. Once I have turret tech, should I caravan or better metals? Yes or no? By the time I have turret tech, I'm also going to machine myself maybe a machine pistol or an auto pistol, or I could even go gas op to get a heavy SMG. I think it's not unreasonable to not caravan until I have a heavy SMG, but essentially, a child chased by imps. Okay, I can't do 2 pulls at once, but what I'm saying is I could just caravan. I have a gas mask, so that protects me from 80% of all pollution. I could caravan to like here, settle this real quick, and check it for like uranium and plasteel and gold and stuff like that. That's essentially what I'm asking. I know there's some plasteel to mine on the map. Some of that plasteel could go to the, you know, a few mini turrets, but it's a really expensive metal to turn into a mini turret. Uranium is way better suited. And the reason to use uranium or plasteel is it's not flammable, so it won't burn. So you guys think I should possibly caravan for better metals? I'll circle back to that poll, because, you know, maybe you guys want me to use the plasteel that is on my map tile. But, here we go. 10-year-old child is named Garrison, is calling from nearby, and is being chased from the clade of Hakrenthi. And, yeah. Welcome, dude. Current priority. Defend the child and prep for human habitation. Raffle timer's up. I don't really know the ideology of this kid, so I might need to throw him in the clink. But we're gonna need to feed him. So, faction. This is the Witch's Hollow. And Witch's Way. Garrison, what's up with you? Staggeringly ugly misogynist. Absolutely F off. I tried. But Fabio is an absolute jerk who should have been killed by the impids. Raffle timer off. Well, I guess I get to kill some impids for him. What I do know about impids is throwing Molotovs at them, not so effective. So we've got Quaith and Zuv. Imagine the upbringer yield that? Yeah, you know, kidding. Alright, I'm gonna draft Witch so that, Silent Rider joins me. Hey, Silent Rider. Yo. Yep, wake up. Let's open some doors. I do have a very flammable base, so it's probably best that they just, like, get murdered from, spike traps. I know it's very metal expensive to do it that way. And I'll have Silent Rider hang out with me in here. Oh, they're already beginning their assault. No, 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 Silent! No, 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 over there! Alright, stand over here with me, bud. He was, like, jumping around on the traps. Splat. 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 Alright, Silent. Over here, bud. I'll just rope you. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to see some corpses. Fortunately, they're not, rotten yet, so it could be worse. And we got a recurve bow out of it, which is, you know, I've seen, yeah, it's fine. Molotov. Oops, Vermeer, I didn't mean to move you. Go back. And I put this, it's all stone around here, so it's very unlikely that the fire will spread to anything that I would want, you know, anything that matters. Any chance for a male gay misogynist? I mean, I only turned down that kid because, like, there's no way I would get along with him. He is staggeringly ugly misogynist, so he hates me, I hate him. Which is why I was like, yeah, no, this is not gonna work. Because, again, I'm not trying to min-max. This is a role-playing series, and there's no way Witch would put up with that. So, I don't have to defend the child and prep for human habitation. I'm going to build defensive turrets. But it does stand to reason that I should probably prep my colony for the chance to have someone in the future, because it's not the only kid that's going to ask for help. And at some point, we're going to want to invest in, like, plumbing and kitchen and bedrooms and stuff. But our defense probably comes first, to be fair. But bummer. That could have really been a big boon, but it wasn't. Yeah, not friend material. Yeah, that was like, it couldn't not have gotten any worse than that. That was horrible. Staggeringly means I'm guaranteed to hate his guts, and misogynist means he's guaranteed to hate my guts. So, I mean, it could have been interesting, but it probably would have ended up in a social fight where both of us got infections and died, or something stupid like that. Navon, thank you for the sub. Cheers. Third trait, Pyromaniac. Yeah, I do have a very woody base. There is a high risk of fire being a big old issue for me. So, asking the original question, here we go. Here's the poll. Once I have turret tech, should a caravan for better materials? Yes, no, use the local plasteel, or no, use the local steel. So there is a little bit of plasteel here. There's obviously steel here. So you guys can choose whether I caravan for better materials. I'd primarily be looking for uranium, which would be an economical way to make fireproof turrets, or use the local plasteel or steel. Still looks like yes. So I intend to only consider doing that if I have a heavy SMG. So I'm going to do gunsmithing to blow back to gas op, and then backtrack to gun turrets. Because there's no way I'm going out in the wild with like potential predators and stuff without a heavy SMG. Because that would be stupid foolish. The other question I have for you guys is this. Should I tame the fox first? And that would be like yet another pet to come escort me. Are they still here? Yeah, the fox squirrel is still here. So the fox squirrel is a pet I potentially could tame to attack, guard, haul, etc. They are immune to pollution. They're kind of like a toxic fox, and they have a very low chance on revenge. So it's possible to just tame the thing and have it be like my escort, and it would be a better escort than Silent Rider, because Silent Rider is a ranched pet, or at least for now. With that said, I do have enough silver to buy a catalyst, potentially, which would fix Silent Rider's hauling issue. And the other thing I could do is maybe get the heavy SMG before I do any tame attempts, so that Silent Rider tanks for me, and I have a gun that actually has some bang. How many corpses do we have in this map tile? 2. Humongous at 1 HP, so he's about to decay, and Raven at 83. Maybe what I'll try to do is burn Raven's corpse and do some firefighting so that I don't end up with, like... I mean, I essentially don't want to live in a garden of corpses. So it might seem silly, but, like, it's something that Witch wants. Especially given that this guy was, like, at once an ally. Or at least neutral. So yes, she has to see his dead body. But, you know. We are now about to be corpse-free. And keeping it that way, I think, is going to be important in the long run. So, some visitors. Hey, maybe they have a catalyst. That'd be nice. And you guys do think I should tame the fox first. Got it. So, new priorities. Not necessarily in order, but turrets, fox, heavy SMG. Oh, wow. So many children. Tough and lazy. You're tough with a shooting passion? It's too bad I'm neutral with you guys, because that is tempting. I'm gonna sell the 5 cents Iqua. Yeah, that's super gonna fetch me a good nice price. I'm gonna sell the pants and parka, because I can just make new stuff. I'd rather have the silver. And then sell the bow. And the revolver. I'm going to keep the plasteel slice cap to smelt it at some point. But I'll keep the breach axe. That's the only weapon I'll keep for now. That's a good trade. We're now over 500 silver, which is a pretty good. And then I'm going to... I can't dismiss them, right? They're visitors. Normally I would want to dismiss them because I really don't want children to, like, you know... My character likes children. I don't want them harmed. So, the plan is to get gas up, and then get some more steel, make myself a heavy SMG, and then try to tame that fox. And I think my chance in taming that fox is rather high. It's not too difficult. So I don't know how many times the poison, the thing spread. I kind of lost track. But it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 got removed. So I'll try to track this better next time. Maybe it is... If you know how this works and you want to just, like, spoil it, that's fine. Maybe it is 6 per purge. I'll just try to look it up. Pollux tree. Cleans 1 tile of pollution every 10 in-game hours. Oh, so maybe it's just 1 per tick. Okay. Yeah, there's the answer. I think someone actually mentioned that before, and I was just being dumb. Didn't put 2 together for some reason. Oh. Okay. You hate me more. Oh no! Poggum. The pigs of Poggum don't like me. What will I ever do about that? I'm pissed that didn't work out. The biggest issue of being alone isn't really going to be solved by having a child, but basically, nobody can do medical tending for me unless I get another person or I get, like, high mech for a paramedic bot. That's the biggest risk, by far, is I go down and nobody helps me, right? It's like the whole fear of, like, choking when you live alone, where like no one can do the Heimlich. I mean, I don't know how frequently that actually happens, but I do know that like the elderly, it's a big risk of like falling and not being able to call for help, you know? And Sir, Silent Rider can be trained for rescue, which is true, but they can't open doors yet. So if I fell over right now, like nobody could come for me. I could maybe actually draft the robot to open the door for then Silent Rider to rescue me, but then no one can medically tend me. So that is probably like a level of... it's a milestone for the series to have some sort of help beyond myself. And I strive for that. The Men in Black, I guess, but the problem is the rules don't change. If they're older, which they will be, because a Man in Black is always a man, and always older, they get banished immediately. So that's not much of a solution either. Grow season starts 1st of April, May. Got it. Hey, another forced weather. This time, fog. So fog is way more sketchy in that if it's forced fog, fires never stop. So a map-wide forest fire is a very real thing. So I'm just going to say no. It's not like Foggy Rain where it's super sweet. It's super bad. So vetoed. If she's unconscious, who's doing the banning? Her subconscious will do the banning. They will be banned. The rules are enforced. There is no wiggle for cheese, if you will. And we are blowing through gas up. We're at a 1/5 of the way there. It's pretty easy when you're a strong expert with an absolute overwhelming learning rate. That is passion, global learning, you know, fast learner trait. Blowing through that quick. I am quite surprised. Oh. Interesting. So, unfortunately, I do not have a pollution-free zone for the goats. So, unless I want to watch goats die, I'm going to have to release them. I won't reasonably be able to put a pen together to keep them from not dying from pollution. But just as I said, preparing for human habitation is a reasonable goal. Preparing for ranched animals that don't have a pollution immunity is a thing I could invest in. You know, if I want to be able to offer protein to my future residents through eggs or milk, because that's not offensive, right? Like, we don't eat meat, but that's not eggs, that's not milk. Ranching is fine, eggs and meat are fine. So buying chickens and putting them in some sort of like pollution-free ranch is a totally reasonable goal down the line. It's just not those goats are definitely not on the cards right now because I have nowhere to put. I could put them here, but then I don't have medicine. I don't have cotton. You know, that's why this was not a good alternative option. I guess at this point, it's not unreasonable to just be like, yeah, this is my home now. I'm surprised I haven't actually had a breakdown requiring me to, like, fix the wind turbine. Suppose I got lucky. Alright, so gas up's about halfway there. And then we'll get ourselves some gun. So it looks like I might take a moment to do some construction tasks. I know it's a diversion away from what I was previously working on, but the reason for this is all of these ruins have like ruined concrete that stops flora from naturally spawning. which it would be great if this was like a natural garden to support the animals. Basically, what I'm trying to do is Witch loves animals and wants to support the local animal life, and this ruin is hurting that because this Pollux tree has at this point cleaned the pollution around it, but all of the flooring and walling is stopping crops from naturally sprouting, and I want to get rid of that. It's a role-playing thing. Plus, it's a whole bunch of limestone blocks, which isn't terrible to have. Although, with that said, it would have been smarter to do this in the morning when there was ooh, it's ice. When there's a chance for me to have like light levels that are reasonable. Yeah, the stone walls also protect the clean zone. Exactly. You're not going to be able to remove pollution underneath a wall. So, get rid of it. What? Don't haul the... Oh, jeez. Well, that's all you can carry, if that's all you can carry. It's not going to take me very long. But yeah, that structure was a blight on the ground, and we're just unblighting. I'll also do the ancient razor wire. Not that it's in the zone. It's not, but... it would be nice not to have this here. Not using my bot? You know, I could have. One of the reasons not to use the bot is it's not fully charged, so there's an advantage to have as much charge as possible, and I don't have a means to recharge it. I also realized that like trying to deconstruct the razor wire took a long time. Smashing it with a giant hammer, yeah, that's the way to go. Sometimes it calls for a sledge. Well, there you go, little animals. Enjoy. They'll be much better. Oh, shoot. I do have enough herbal medicine to use. So here, one second. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a light into the ranch so that I have a light level so that I can actually do medical tending reasonably well because it's dark there. It's pitch black. And then I'll use herbal meds because I have 32 of them and 10 Silent Rider with both meds and light. Would it be possible for the goats to live near those trees? Sure, but they're not... I don't have ranches there, and they're not pollution-free. So once the Pollux tree is at full maximum pollution removal, it would be potentially possible to have a ranch where, like, you wall it in like this, and they live inside of the Pollux tree's zone. It would mean that the Pollux tree probably can't be used to naturally remove pollution anymore, because if you add pollution to it, you kill the goats. So that, you know, we could do that, sure. But it requires all of the infrastructure beforehand, otherwise the goats just end up getting carcinoma, dementia, and death. And that's not something that I wanted to do to them. Because that's what's happening now, actually. I was hoping they would wander away by now, but they haven't. Because, yeah, this is the consequence of keeping them here. It sucks. It's too bad we don't have a bulk goods trader or something that I could sell them to, because that would keep them alive. They'd leave. I suppose you could make the argument of, like, we're kind of letting them die. So I guess, should I retame the goats and shelter them? I tried to let them go, but they've stuck around. So what do you think I should remedy it? Should I run out there, retame them, and shelter them? Because I could sell them at some point. You know, I could shelter them here. It would burn down my food supply. Roleplay speaking, letting nature run its course isn't necessarily against our ideology. So if these goats die as a consequence of the toxic buildup, that's... Or alternatively, not even retame them, but just like rescue them when they collapse and then nurse them back to health. Oh. The last person was fugly. Are you fugly too? You're 15. Oh, you're not fugly. That was sarcasm. Are you too old? You are... Chronologically, you're 96 years old, but let's ignore that. 15 years, 3 quadrums? Yeah, you're too old. Do you belong to a faction? You do not. Okay, well, I will tend you and have you wander off the map tile yourself. You are just a year too old. It is unfortunate. So, for reference, we are 13, 3 quadrums, 8 days. So anyone older than 14, 3 quadrums, 7 days is not eligible to become a colonist. So they are very close, but still outside of the... Alright, fugly. Put you in a non-polluted zone. There you go. Because if I rescue her, she'll likely choose to join, and then I'll have to banish her, and I don't want to have to do that. Alright, next question. Should I rescue... Oh, if I could type. Rescue the goats and shelter them. So rescue means when they collapse from their toxic buildup, I go, like, save them. So not tame them, but save them. Come on, please, goats, wander off. Do you even get people in that age gap to get dropped down? Yeah, anything over 13 is fine. As far as RimWorld's concerned, 13 is an adult, and they could show up. How likely it is? Low, but it's not impossible. Okay. Chat seems to think letting the goats just run its course and die of no consequence is fine. Alright. Whatevs. Guess you aren't animal lovers. We're almost done with gas up. And then, once we have it, I'll mine up the rest of this steel. From there on, it's going to be a little trickier to get the steel we need. There is a whole bunch of slag nearby that I could smelt, but a smelter costs 170 steel to begin with, which is like a steep investment cost. I'm hoping that there's steel in this mountain that I hit. That would be perfect. I'm destined to be alone another year? I mean, maybe. It's too soon to say. Eventually, what I could do is, get a grav ship, and that would expand my ability to, like, potentially rescue people. Of course, grav ships can't relaunch quickly unless I have really high pilot skill, but my intellect is gonna let me be a pretty heck of a good pilot, I think. Could I ration the steel for a smelter? Well, this isn't the only steel spot. There is steel over here, so I don't need to ration it just yet, because there's probably a good 1,000 steel over there. And then if I'm heading to other map tiles, it's more than likely I find steel there as well. But don't worry, I won't burn it all before getting a smelter. Why aren't you leaving? You're like vomiting and there's nothing to eat. Why are you staying? How was your food? You're doing fine. The growth in the pen doesn't keep up with demand, but you're not hungry yet. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Boundless Witch, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a miniseries marathon. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow witches and warlocks.